guys, MJ here. I just shampooed my hair and I am now getting ready to blow dry my hair. I put a protectant on my hair for the heat from the blow dryer. So it's all-in-one. It protects from the sun rays and all of that other good stuff. And on top of it, it has flaxseed in it, and it will illuminate more on the shine over a 24-hour period. Now, you always need something in the hair for the blow drying, especially being natural, because you do not want the heat to be directly on the hair. That can actually do more damage to your actual hair. And I stated before in the video that I did, I personally have heat damage. But the reason why I have heat damage, I compress the iron and I slowly go down, and towards the end I tighten it up a little bit more, so the flat iron is pressing the strands of the hair and the hair is weaker on the ends. And even though I'm a hairstylist, I'm aware of what I'm doing. But when you guys are flat ironing the strands, you want to start with more tension at the roots to kind of elongate your wave or iron out your wave pattern. But when you get towards the end, you want to release the tension just a little bit. That's just tip one. So I'm about to blow dry, and I'm going to show you how I blow dry, okay? Enjoy the video. Guys, understand that if you see me blow drying my hair, the one thing you would notice, especially with natural hair, I don't have smoke. That is the most important thing when you're blow drying natural hair. When there's smoke in the air or smoke coming from your blow drying process from the hair, that's an indication that you still have product in your hair. And it's going to make the hair stiff, and it's not going to move the way it's supposed to. So spend that extra time and make sure you get that product out your hair as much as possible. Okay, guys? And right now I'm using a classic brush, which is your Demon brush. And the reason why I'm doing that on my hair, because I don't need no volume. So normally volume is used with either your round brush, and fullness could be with your paddle brush. But right now I want my hair to be closest to the scalp as possible. So I'm taking it and I'm putting my blow dryer to it, and you see it kind of melts the hair towards the head. And I use that word term, melt, because the heat just does its own job. You don't need to do too much. And it just kind of irons it down due to the heat. And you notice the shine is appearing. And all this hair, guys, if you notice, it's only been a little less than 3 minutes, literally, from the time I started blow drying. And the reason why, I kind of let my hair pre-dry just for like 2 minutes or so. I took the brush, I opened it up, and I kind of let it air dry just a little bit, because I still want the fullness, and I didn't need to put so much heat to the hair from the blow dryer. So some of the water kind of, like, you know, vaporized. Your hair wasn't as soaking wet. It wasn't as saturated. And remember, I got 20 plus years of experience here. So me blow drying this, I'm really making it easier, as someone else would say. The more you guys would do it, you become conditioned to blow dry your own hair and create a pattern and a technique that works best for you. But again, you notice I am constantly going downwards. Because with natural hair, the way you blow dry it and the way you start it is really, really key on how it's going to look and how long it's going to last you, or how your style is going to lay out, because you're setting the shape now. Like a cute commercial, don't it? What I'm doing is just drying out the hair on my scalp and feeling for any cool areas. Cool areas indicate that the hair is still wet on the scalp or somewhere on the hair. Let me just fix my garment. Now, with me doing the back area, all I'm doing is, so you can see, I'm turning the hair and I'm twisting, but I'm going down. Still see me stroking downward. So that's the thickest point of the hair, everybody. Normally around the curve of your head, the back of your head, where the occipital bone is, that little scoop, there's much more hair underneath there. And that's where your hair is thickest at for the most part. So it takes a little longer for the blow dry to really, really get through all those layers of hair. All right. Okay, so I'm about ready. Now, sorry about that. Gotta fix my stuff. The next product I'm gonna put on my hair is another form of heat protectant. And again, every time you do flat ironing or natural hair, you want to layer up your hair. Even if you're relaxed, you still want to put some form of layer. So excuse me while I get the products out. Okay, I'm back. Oh, yeah, I'm back. Oops. I was doing too much. Okay, so this is a heat protectant, and it's sprayed on so that it is slightly wet, but it's not going to make the hair revert. For those of you who are not sure what I'm saying, it basically will not make the hair wave back up or curl back up. It's not that wet. I've been wearing my hair with the part in the middle for years, so it kind of just, acts properly when I go to parting it. Now, for me, I always split the hair in two, going down the middle. However you want to do it. I'm not going to turn around. I guess we know how to separate the hair going down the middle or whatever works for you. For me, this works for me. So and then I take the clip and I hold the hair up. So I take about, I would say, the entire width of the bottom of the hair, if you notice. And you see the sectioning. It's not perfect. Kind of see how thick the section is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that in half. Because I really want my hair completely straight. And when I say I split it in half, I'm splitting it from ear to ear in half. So you can kind of see from here. Okay? And that's the size of my section, because it'll be a way that I do not literally have to go over the iron book too many times. Now I needed something to hold my hair. Alright guys, let me just My belt is all the way on the other side. All right. Now I'm going to do this turning around. Normally I go the other way. But just so you guys can get to see what I'm doing. If you can. I'm taking it, and this is where I'm having the most tension. And you see how slow I'm moving the iron down? The iron is doing its job. The flat iron is doing its job. And you see the section? Major. That's how you're going to get a smooth stroke. And the hair smooths out without you having to do it too many times. Okay? And that was just one section. Now I'm taking the section that I just had above. And I'm taking it. If you notice, see how it's getting shiny? And you see, now again, when you get to this point, this is where you should release some tension. And you see the little product that's smoking up? That's what I mean far as the smoke. That's indication that there's product on the hair. And you guys, like I said, I put product for the blow drying phase. I put product for the flat iron phase. And I put product on afterwards. So the hair is layered, but you want to use the proper product. You do not, whatever you do not want to make the hair heavy. And a lot of times, guys, a product that you can put in your hands and rub it together and then see how that product makes your hand feels. If it makes it feel sticky, then that's how your hair is going to feel. If it makes it feel nice and light and it's not drying your hair out, but it leaves a nice moisture, that's a good way to test a product out to see if this is the result you kind of want on your hair. Now you see how I'm doing that? Okay. So let me just continue flat ironing. And I'm going to go from there. And we pretty much have the basics. I'm not editing. I'm not going to cut off. I want you guys to see how long it should take. With all this hair that I got, it doesn't take long. And it has nothing to do with, texture of hair. It's just that my hair has been trained. And I know how to operate and fix my own hair. So give or take until you get comfortable and find a rhythm and techniques on how to blow dry your own hair and flat iron. You can do all of this within the hour, honestly. Now you see me go over is because it's just my grip. I don't necessarily have to do it but one time. Just out of habit, I'm doing it more than once. See how I lose it? Because I want to keep the hair in a certain place in my flat iron. So that's what you're seeing me doing, going back and forth. When I lose the spacing, like right now I have it sectioned in one part, but when I lose it and go past that, I stop my iron and I just grip the hair over again and regroup the hair back in the position or within the width that I want it to stay within the iron. Okay? So I don't want you thinking I'm doing something different. And what you do is you take your little section, you feel how thick it is. If it's way too thick, you know it's not going to get really close to the scalp. So you feel your section, and if it's a fine strip, and I would say maybe, guys, like no more than 1/4 of an inch thickness, because you want to be able to squeeze the iron and be able to get closest to your scalp as possible. That's the key why we don't take such a thick strip. Because when you're trying to wedge the hair all in that little flat iron, you're going to get a crease at the roots, or you're going to have puffy roots. And then, see, all I'm doing is just gripping the hair closest to the scalp. And I may have to take a couple of strokes. Okay. And my hair holds heat like I don't know what. Whew. It's like picking up a pan right off the fire with your bare hands. See how fast it's coming around? And when you work in sections, not only it make your work really, really neat, you can kind of feel and see what you're doing, and it saves you a lot of time. A lot of times. You see what I'm doing? Now that's a really wide section, and I did that on purpose. I want you to see the difference. See how the root is to where I hit the iron? Now, when you do that, you split it. Now look at the space and the distance and the width of it. Now you see my iron is hitting straight to the scalp. See the difference now? From the root. So that was what I was talking about as far as how much hair to grab. And we're like 16 minutes in prior to my little intro as to what we're doing. So I'll give or take maybe what? This is 14 minutes so far. Maybe less than that. And it doesn't take long for me to shampoo my hair either, guys. And what I will do is maybe do a video on how your water should look when you're shampooing your hair and it's natural, to determine whether your hair is ready to be prepped for blow drying and flat iron. Again, you can kind of see the smoke, and that's because I have products to protect the hair from the heat. And you see all I'm doing is just fusing hair, running over, because I really can't see in the camera the way I want to. So, sorry about that, guys. See, I can see a little bit where the hair needs to still just be brushed a little bit. And then, excuse me. Sanitize, for those of you who know what that means. When you're in beauty school, you drop something, and our instructor used to make us aware that somebody dropped something, so we would have to say sanitize. And that was just a way to prep us for the board. You cannot drop your comb on the floor. It's just not a good look. And if your stylist drops the comb on the floor or any of tools and put it back in your hair, that is not a good indication of the hair, the tools is being sanitized properly in the salon. Because that's just bad habit. Now, I haven't had my hair trimmed in probably about 7 months. So I don't have extremely bad ends as far as the way it looks when it's all said and done. But with the heat damage, it will make my ends look a little bit straggly to some degree. But I don't have a perfect blunt cut either. Mine's is point cut, so I kind of get away with it. And it's not that I don't, want to cut my hair because I want to keep the length. One, I don't have the time. And two, the hair is I'm not keeping a shape up. And I'm not having any hair that's really just completely straggly where it doesn't look like it belongs with the rest of the hair. If I did, then that's where I would do a trim. A lot of people think they need to get trims pretty often just for hair to grow. Your hair is going to grow regardless, guys. Trims, the main purpose of a trim is to maintain shape and length. And when I say that, if somebody got their hair cut and they want to maintain the length of that haircut, you trim it up. Just like how you do hedges on in your front yard. You want to keep the shape, so you go in and trim the hedges. It's exactly the same thing. If you want the hedges to grow, then you start to shape it in the direction you want it to grow. And that's what you do with your hair. Now, when a stylist said you need to get a trim or a shape up every 2 to 3 weeks, and if it's not falling in between for the reasons of that, you're not going to see growth within your hair, because we see anywhere between a half an inch to an inch on the average a month if the hair is being taken care of properly. So if your stylist is cutting a half an inch, what you just grew, you just cut off. So just remember that, guys. Most of my clients beg me for trim. I'm not big on trims, but their hair don't need it. A lot of times they just want it to satisfy their routine. Then once they understand what I'm doing, then they're like, oh, well, I guess I don't need a trim. So they jump on board with me. Remember, small sections. And even still with me spraying a little bit amount of products, you still don't see a whole lot of smoke. But you see it. I hope you can see it. If you can't see it, I see it. Again, the sectioning. Again, I'm doing it in a different direction where I would normally be all in the mirror so I can see what's going on. I'm trying to give you guys the angle on the camera. And normally I have my jazz music playing in the background, but last time I drowned myself out working in my own zone. And we are now at 22 minutes, so it's only been roughly about 20 minutes, guys. I believe that I have started with the blow drying and flat iron. And honestly, it takes about a good 5 to 8 minutes to shampoo my hair. Not that it takes that long for me to get my hair clean. It takes that long for me to make sure it's thoroughly rinsed. It's not the lathering up and then the scrubbing that takes long. And it's not because my hair is long. Even if your hair is at your shoulders, the sud stays under that area that I was telling you guys about. That's by the occipital bone, where it's that scoop underneath there. Product settles there if you're laying back. So, let me see. We're coming around, guys. So I don't want you to think it's impossible. And now when it takes a little bit longer, because the way that I'm doing my hair, this is what we would consider a silk press, a first press. I can go in and reinforce everything, add another layer of product, and then take the flat iron and do this process all over again. So I have a double press. That's when I want the hair to really, really, really be locked in and lay the cuticles down, and my hair will stay straighter a little longer. But it also will make my hair a little bit flatter. So I want to keep the volume, so I'm only doing one press. So for those of you who are natural and you want to wear your hair curly, and your hair, it will not really get really curly on its own right after, once it hits a little bit of moisture, like you can go a couple of days and your hair doesn't revert back to its natural shape and look fuzzy, or out of place. You guys can literally blow dry your hair, do all your product stuff, and then put your curl in right away. Like, so I'm using your flat iron and curling right away. You will have longer hold on your curl and your hair will be much, much fuller. But if you're trying to make it last, then the best recommendation is prep your hair straight like I'm doing, and then go in and do your curl. And again, everything's all about layering with products. So you're not putting the heat directly onto the hair. And a lot of that is just think about it. You go outside with no lotion on your skin, you're going to irritate your skin. So every time you put lotion, not only is it a protectant for your hair, but you also allowing that product to take the beating and then infuse into your hair as well too. So it feels like a filler and a layer of protection. Because if you didn't have this and this heat is hitting directly on it, it's really not beneficial for the hair, especially down the long run. Your heat damage will be much more severe. Jesus, this thing is hot. Burn my scalp. And it wasn't even the iron that burned it. It was the hot hair. Here we come, guys. You can see as when it starts to get wider than the thing, I'll just go back, retract the step, the area that I just left, just so I have a smooth seam. Smooth seam. A seamless, or there's no crease, I should say. A flat iron crease. So you just go over it in that area. Right up in that spot, boy. It might be slightly wet, and I didn't feel it. Okay, so this is right here. You see all of this right here, guys? Okay. Hitting directly. I mean, the hair is holding it enough to the point where I can literally, can you see it? See that? You see the two difference? Ooh. And remember, guys, the key thing is having light products. Light feeling products. Okay? Not lightly. And then you don't really need a whole lot either. So you can just, put a small amount onto the hair. I'm just dropping everything. I'm almost finished. 28 minutes. So that means 26 minutes in, I guess, from start to finish so far. And for those of you who are interested in taking any of my classes, you can actually email me at Milan, MILAN, the number 2, the word style. At gmail.com. I was going to give you my Instagram page, which is Milan2_styling. And it's actually 2 is the number 2, guys, okay, for that as well. And I have some smoothing techniques. I have some other process videos of things that I've done on my Instagram page. But it's a short. And then my professional page on Facebook, guys, is, I don't even know what it is. It could be Milan, MJ, Milan. Oh, how embarrassing. Milan, MJ. Something. I'll put it all in there, because it gives you the full video. Or you can go on my Facebook page. It also is posted as there as well. It's Milan, Milan, Junch, Junch. And then you can, I guess you can find my fan page then. Ooh. Okay, guys, you see, sister's almost done. I have to go back over because that was really not the section, and the way I parted it, it overlapped the other side. Now back to the products. I'm putting a little bit of something on the ends again of my hair, just to seal anything that I need. Lay down any flyaways with that. And something like a light little paste for, you know, again, something light and free flowing. And this is a brush that has the boar bristle to help seal and lay all of this stuff down. And if you guys have a keratin, you don't want to use 100% boar bristle brushes, for the simple fact that it will pull, you know, any type of smoothing treatment. It will pull and shorten the lifespan of your smoothing treatment. And sister's done. And that's just my finisher. So I put a little bit on the ends and I'm brushing it. And no more to it. So I will show you what it looks like. See? Just that. Thanks, guys.